Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for another episode of Counterpart. We finally found the mole, I think. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Body roll.
That's the body roll that you're doing of Prince?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just trying to understand if that's what it was or if it was a medical emergency and we needed to call and contact someone. I just wanted to make sure.
Something like that.
Safety first.
You know, my dance skills aren't that good, so it's okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
Like you can dance.
You do look like you could dance.
I got a little bit, you know.
No.
I tried.
That's so sad.
Why is that sad? I pity you. I pity you. It's like the line from the
dance is
show.
life.
I pity your life.
You know
like
what?
She say?
Because dance is life.
That's okay. I'll work on it. You can teach me, Porchia?
I got you, girl.
Okay, good. Okay, guys. Another episode of Counterpart. This is episode 6. Act like you've been here before. My name is Ashley Allen, and you guys can find me on all social media at Ashley Reed Allen. It's good to have you guys here again this week. We missed you last week.
I miss you too.
We figured you guys went over to the other side. What happened?
Well, I guess we just gotta act like we've been here before, right?
Your counterparts traded with you. That's what happened.
Is that what it was? I was in London. I was in London, so. And that is like the other side.
Wakanda, London? Okay, cool.
I was in Wakanda last week. But hey, y'all, it's Porchia. You can find me on all social media at Porchia Carter.
And that's what's up. I am Tehran, literally at I am Tehran all across the board. I felt like your intro was anticlimactic. Like, I feel like for a person with a lot of energy, you're like, just find me, I'm Porchia, and I'm Tehran. And that's who we are.
Yep, that's who we are. And
We're
we're going to act like we've been here before.
That's right. All right, guys. What did you think of this episode? I was completely, for the most part, confused. It was kind of a slow episode for me, I think.
Yeah, it was slow, but I think it was pretty wild. Like, you see a lot of what's going on, and I feel like the whole time we have actually been saying that, you know, Quell was the mole, but now we see that he's actually been set up, and it's just like, dang, from the person who's playing so many different lives.
Right.
And she's just outrageous out here, and I actually love it. She brings something different to the show.
I'm going to give a shout out to Nazanin Boniadi, a very good friend of mine who plays Claire, and she does an excellent job portraying the different hats that Claire needs to wear throughout the show.
Yeah.
I actually really like this episode. I like the episode because I felt like it was a foundation episode that is going to bridge the gap between a lot of things that are to come. So this was the foreshadow of all the rest of the season. And we saw a lot of different aspects of that. This house in Postham, the death of the friend, the setup of the Walter, and of course the finding of who we think is ultimately the mole, which is Claire. And so I really thought it was good. I understand the pacing wasn't as action filled as usual, but
It's never really that action filled though.
sometimes it gets, because every scene that happens in Counterpart, I feel like someone's about to die.
I feel like the most
every
action
scene.
is Nadia when she's fighting. Other than that,
Nadia-
it's really chill.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna say this and I'll be so real. First of all, Nadia gets
Or Baldwin.
bitches, and then number 2,
She does.
yo, Nadia stay getting like she went in her coffee shop and she's like, how would you even feel that energy where you knew? And then
Because Homegirl was giving her free food.
I know, but
She
I didn't mean how Nadia felt. I mean, how did the other girl just feel that energy from Nadia? At this point, she has a cut on her face. She just really stays getting girls.
She was chilling. Homegirl took it upon herself to give her some free stuff.
Yeah, she was pushing up on Nadia. But I'm glad that Nadia has learned her lesson because she grabbed that gun. We'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah. So first I want to talk about Ian and Howard. And so what do you guys think about Ian? Like, sometimes I like him, sometimes I don't. This episode, he really just rubbed me the wrong way, but I understand why he is the way that he is.
This episode, I think I kind of got some background of, you know, him and Emily's relationship.
Yeah.
Because at first I thought he was just, you know, her her cut buddy. Like that's all they did. Yeah, they're in a relationship, but they get it in, they go to work, and they have a mutual respect for each other. But now I see that, in her most trying and difficult times when, she was hospitalized and on drugs and things like that, he was there for her. And he built a relationship with her that's stronger than just sex. And so now we have her ex-husband, who actually was probably the one who put her through all of that, back in the picture. When he sees that, he's a bit jealous because he like, I picked her up when you dropped her. And it's like when he gets those kind of vibes, you see his jealousy comes out, you see his anger comes out, and then you see him, being a complete total butthole because of it. Right. And I just couldn't believe he took homeboy to take a lie detector test. Like, of all things, like, that's lame. Like, that was so lame for me. But I don't understand how he couldn't tell that wasn't, actually Prime. But maybe he don't know about the real world. He doesn't really know Prime. Or the other world. He do know about the other world because they went over there. Yeah. So maybe.
But he doesn't really know Prime, though. He knows Prime through Emily's stories and that he's been an a-hole and he hasn't been around. But
this is not his first time in the lie detector chair. It's not his first encounter with him. Clearly, he the one who messed up his partner's leg.
Yeah, but because he brought all that stuff up. He doesn't know him well enough to be able to read him to say he's acting differently, he's moving differently. He doesn't know him well enough to be able to pinpoint those things.
But he said it when he walked in the coffee shop. He's lost for words today or something he said. And then his friend was like, well, maybe he's having an off day. Mm-hmm. Like, I believe he's noticing, but he's not really quick on his feet about it.
Because his other emotions and then, are so clouded.
He's clouded with, okay, this man trying to get back at my woman, Mm-hmm. But
yeah, I actually enjoyed seeing when he was talking about how he helped Emily recover, how pretty much him and Howard almost have the real Howard have some similarities between them, because he said, I helped her, I nursed her, I read to her
every night. Yeah,
so they actually have a little bit in common that, of course, they probably will never be able to discover or explore. They have a lot that they've gone through that's alike. So yeah, unfortunately, those two strong men won't ever be able to come together. But I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Well, it's two alphas getting in a room, right? So who's in charge? And Ian wants to be in charge, especially because there is a woman involved. Mm-hmm. And when Emily steps in, to be frankly honest, as passive aggressive as she is, she's an alpha too. Absolutely. So it's actually very interesting, the dynamic between the three. And I think it was very imperative when Howard Alpha brought up the point of, she left me for you. So basically, she knows how to pick them. Mm-hmm. She basically left me for a milder version, or a slightly very similar, more refined version of me, which is just you. Right. You have the same indications of everything. And that's where Ian felt like he had to come to his defense. But even then, he showed a sign that he doesn't even realize. He basically just became Howard Alpha instead of Howard Prime. Mm-hmm. So he's a mix of the two. Yeah. He is a perfect mix of the two, a blend.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that also showed us that Emily, even though they have this relationship, I think Ian is also bitter because it seems like Emily doesn't really tell him anything. He's always left in the dark. Like, he asks her, open up to me, like, tell me the truth. Like, I'm here for you first before the job. And that's when we kind of
But they on two different missions, and they working with two different people, and they got two different lives going on,
She's a spy. That's what happens when you date a spy.
You gotta keep your life closed, just like with Homegirl.
So do you think he's too emotional then?
Who, Ian?
When it comes to Emily?
A bit emotional. I'm from Washington, D.C., and in Washington, D.C., we have a lot of families whose a parent or even both parents at times work for the agency, for the CIA, and or FBI, but mostly CIA, NSA, any of those numerous op groups. And that's how life is. You are kept in the dark. You don't even always know that your family member works for the agency. Most of the time you don't. Most of the time you think they work for the Department of Labor or State Department and have no idea that they're actually going to Langley on a daily basis and completing jobs that are at least what we are hoping in the best interest of the nation's security. Yeah. So that's the concept. He knows what she does. She has to keep secrets. That is her job. It is her description. It is her character at this point. She keeps secret. And he has to understand that she's just going to keep secrets from him.
And this episode really showed me that it was almost best that Prime has kept Howard in the dark. There's no way he would have been able to pass that lie detector test.
No way.
Had he known the information that Prime should have technically given him for him to be able to survive on the other side. So we're definitely really seeing that in this world, it's best the less you know, the better. Especially for those who really
But he learns
involved.
gradually. He learns on his own. Like he, popping up at his daughter's house. He's just sitting in coffee shops with random people. Like he's finding his way and he's learning on his own. So whether Prime let him know or not, like I said, like how, when he was playing that game with him and he was like, you know how to do this. Basically, sending him out there like, okay, you know how to do this. You know how to fend for yourself. You know what's up when you go over there. So he doing it. And I like it, because he show was like, would Howard have a gun? Like, would he have a gun? Like, okay, give me a gun. Why would you not give me a gun?
Right.
To make me look stupid and make it look like now I'm just, soft and weak, So I like what he's doing here. He has a great tactic.
Yeah, I agree. So, Baldwin finally went to, we got to see Nadia's funeral, which was one of the saddest funerals I've ever seen. No one had anything really to say besides
they
the
didn't
girl.
know her.
Yeah, besides the girl that she was dating, who, again, she even said that I didn't really even know Nadia. Yeah, we, slept together and we lived together and, chatted and everything like that, but she didn't even really know her. So now we see this new character, Greta, which is the lady at the coffee shop, and her and Nadia are now forming this new relationship. I'm not really sure what to make of this new relationship. What do you guys think of this new person, Greta? Should Baldwin even be getting emotionally mixed up with anybody else after what she has currently been going through? After what she just went through?
I think she's just trying to find a peace of mind, Like sometimes you just need a place where you just got a peace of mind because she just took on the task of finishing her killing spree. So, like, at the end of the day, if I done took on the task of finishing this killing spree, I'm going to need somebody I'm going to go home to that's going to be able to hold me or something. Like, I'm going to need some tender loving care after all of that trauma. But, yeah, because she about to be back in business. So, might as well find some place to go home that night.
Well, it's interesting because Nadia quickly trusts Greta. And it's not
she don't trust her.
She does.
For sure not.
She does because
she's
she
an
fell
assassin.
asleep.
She don't trust her.
She fell asleep.
She didn't fall asleep. She faked her sleep.
No, she turned
was
around.
faking.
She turned around and she actually.
She had just tucked a gun under the bed.
Yeah, because she was aware, and then she just nodded off. And I feel like that says a lot about her. Why would she fake? Why would you lead into that? Why not just leave?
She needs somewhere to sleep.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, why not just
she's going
leave?
from hotel
why
to
not,
hotel?
If she doesn't trust her and she's afraid of her so much, why not just leave? She has places and now she has money.
She's not. I'm not saying she's
afraid
of her, but I'm saying she know what's up. Like she's not dumb.
She's
playing it safe.
She'll always keep her guards up, but she had something. There was something. There was a moment of more than just attraction. There was a moment of tenderness between the two.
Sleep.
The way she kissed her was a true tender moment.
I don't think that she trusts her. She didn't leave because there's a hunt out for her head right now. So she does need somewhere to stay.
Sure. But why involve an innocent bystander? Why stay at her place knowing that if someone does come, Greta's most likely, out of her kindness, going to be the one to get shot.
Because she don't care.
She does care. I've noticed that the one thing Nadia does care often. She's shown the capacity to do so. So this disheartened, cold-hearted killer that we had seen no longer exists.
Oh yeah,
She's still a killer, but it's a means to the end rather than just for the means
her
itself.
Whole existence.
She's different. She moves different. Her body's different.
She's been different since she ran into Nadia. Since she met Nadia, then she started reminiscing on her childhood and all that. That's why in every scene, like you can see like the emotions all on her face.
Exactly.
I think what it was, at the funeral, how, Nadia's girlfriend, she get up there and she started explaining her about how, she was always at practice. She always was, on that violin. And then whenever she wasn't traveling the world, she would just come home, but it would just be like intimate moments and never really getting to know her. And
Right.
I think she's just trying to, after hearing that, she's like, okay, if that's how Nadia behaved, then that's a tactic I need to have. I need to develop that security because I'm about to be out here working and working, working. I just need somebody to come and be intimate with where I can lay my head and then bounce. Because we done had some people in our life, well, from experience me, I done had some people in my life that needed some...
No,
just
tell us.
needed-
Tell us,
that
please.
either just needed somewhere to sleep or
Right.
lay their head or needed some food to eat and
Yeah,
some good
sure.
stuff. And so, I was a victim of being used before.
Sure, I'm
So,
sure
I
your
mean-
Tinder dates went left, but I'm speaking in direct result of how Nadia plays the part, and I'll tell you the examples of her becoming
But
a
it's
little
the
more
same
soft.
thing. When you just need something, you just need it. And you're going to play that role. You're going to play the, oh, I'm so into you role because you need something.
I don't see her doing
So
that.
let me ask you, where do you guys think that this relationship is going?
Nowhere.
We saw a
What do you think?
dichotomy of
What do you think the
relationships,
purpose
actually.
of Greta's character is?
And we saw her purpose.
For,
we saw it with the
for
other.
Baldwin's at-home security. She just needs to be somewhere to sleep and somebody to love on her when she needed. Other than that, I don't think there's nothing else. there.
Okay, well, I'll present a different point of view if you
Okay.
allow me. The different point of view is simply that we saw this dichotomy play out in another relationship, the relationship of Walter the guy who got shot. So the butcher who got shot had
Heinrich.
a similar relationship with a woman who she felt at the end he lied to me. It's like, but you were in love with the lie. All you need is the love. So we see Howard give her that. It's a dichotomy of a relationship. So Greta will just become much, in a way, a more forceful version of that woman.
Okay.
A person who plays that part. But it's still love. It's still
Maybe.
affection. It's still tenderness.
But we see this is a pattern here on this show because everybody doing it. Because even on the last episode, like Emily, the actual real Howard Silk, his wife is sleeping with another guy just to hide her spy material in his house. Like, she don't really love him. She can't really love him, because
But does she really love Howard?
yes.
Okay.
She does really love Howard
So
because
she
she
has the
says so in that
capacity
letter.
to
Like
love.
she's letting his other know that he could possibly, I'm in danger and he could possibly be in danger too. So make sure y'all save my husband.
Exactly.
She already let that be known within her line of work that she's doing.
Exactly.
So she had to find her somebody to smooth talk, romance, be intimate with. I'm gonna hide my stuff here. Yeah, we gonna get it in sometimes, but I just want to hide my stuff here, and then I'm gonna be out. And here is Nadia. Here we go with her. She's doing basically the same thing. Somebody, I just need to recollect my thoughts
guess-
and then go back out into the world and do my business.
I give
Okay.
more credit to Greta. I'm just giving her more credit. I feel
Okay.
like-
Because you think she's letting her in. I mean, but it's only one episode of Greta.
So what about Delma? So Delma is Heinrich's wife. So she's the one who called Prime and basically told Prime to come. Your friend has been murdered. They chopped off his fingers and everything, so that
Same
when the
situation.
body was found, the police can't identify who he is. So what do you? She plays that same role, his wife.
Well, they're married. So obviously.
So how do you get married? What is the usual protocol? Do you just wake up one day and marry the person, or do you kind of start
You
a
build a
relationship?
relationship.
You build something.
Yeah.
Maybe she offers you free coffee at a counter. Then you go home. Next thing you know, she builds into.
I'm
a
not saying that, that thing is not possible. But I'm saying right now, from what I see, she's just using Greta.
And what I'm saying is Nadia has options. One thing we've seen is Nadia gets bitches. So Nadia has options, and it's like Greta didn't choose her as much as Nadia chose to be chosen. And that's why I'm saying that there's something more there. Maybe it's just an offshoot of her seeing her own funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's an offshoot of the roller coaster of emotions. Maybe it's an offshoot of her seeing Claire again, who she did have a bond with. And she
That was
still
fake,
did.
too.
I don't believe it was. There was a bond.
I think there was a bond with Nadia and Claire.
It was fake
you.
on Claire's part.
I don't think it was.
I think sexually it was fake on Claire's part, but as far as like an emotional bond or just like sympathy, I don't think that was fake between the two of them.
I agree with
But
that.
as
There's
far
an
as
empathy
sexually, yes, I think that was just to get the job done.
Quail get the hoes too.
Quail is so messy.
He got somebody different in his room every time. Like, he cheating on Claire.
He's very messy. He's very messy. But R.I.P. to Heinrich. He passed away, which I'm not surprised. But the dime that his wife Delma dropped was that, you know, the last person who I've seen in here talking to him were you, Prime, and the nice little young fella that you were with, which is Quail. Which I don't think those weren't the last people that came into the shop.
Of course not. Claire and them was there.
It was Claire, but I don't remember she wasn't there, right?
The wife wasn't there when that happened.
Okay.
He was literally opening up the restaurant when that happened.
So
like
she wasn't
he let
there.
she wasn't there. He let the blinds up. He just now, this is his first customer, so he's like, all right, y'all, hold on, give me a minute. He didn't even look back. He's like, give me a minute, let me set this up, because he was still setting up.
Yeah.
So she wasn't there when that happened, but Quail was.
Yeah.
How do we know it was that Quail? How do we know it's not the other Quail, other side? Quail Prime that came in.
We don't. And how do we know that that's which Claire we're dealing with?
We never.
Because we really don't know, because Quail is the boss's daughter. And I think it was in maybe episode 3 or maybe episode 4 when Claire was talking to Baldwin about how she met her other and how her life was so perfect and how she seemed so happy, this, and that. So the other Claire is alive. And if the counterpart Claire is in the original world, where is the other Claire? And what is her part in all this? What do you guys think? Do you think she's involved? The two Claires are working together, or
I think that is the other Claire.
So you think that's the original
side.
Claire?
I think that's the Prime Claire that's working, but Quail doesn't know. Like, it's the other Claire.
But where is the
It's
original
not his actual
Claire?
wife.
Where is
The
his
original
wife
Claire,
at?
we don't know what homegirl at. For all we know is Claire could have boxed her up and kept her in some type of black box, whatever they be doing to these people.
Okay.
But I feel like because Claire has all these different things going on, so she probably, got rid of or sent her off, but she's doing something. Like, she's doing something to where she's getting information from Quail to make it look like all of the information
She's
the mole
setting him
information
up.
is coming from him.
Yeah.
Because, she's his wife and she lives at home with him. And just like, when Nadia ran up on her at the grocery store, she like, is this even real? You shopping for your family and you going home to them? Like, she like, nothing about you is true. So we'll never know. Like, this lady is top spy of the world. She's in command of the school. She's, the boss's daughter, and then, married to Quail. It's just like, we don't know. We don't really know who she is for real. So she could be playing all types of different roles.
She's my favorite character.
She's mine too, because you don't know where she lies. There's so much mystery to her. She's the character that interests me and holds my attention the most. Now, do you guys think that she could perhaps be in cahoots with her father? Do you think he has anything to do with it?
That's a great
But we don't know her father
perspective.
Yeah, we do.
We've been introduced to him?
Yes. He is Quail's boss. He's the director of the agency.
I don't remember him.
That's That's an interesting tie-in if that's the case. Is that
Oh yeah,
her
because he
loyalty
did
is
cuss
to
Quail
him.
out and threatened him about his position. I remember that. That was like second episode. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe they're working together. I don't know. There's something about maybe Claire and her father working together, and then I don't know. I'm like, where is this other Claire? Where is she? How does she fit into all of this?
That's interesting. It's an interesting hypothesis you bring up.
Because Quail
That could
probably
play
think he
out.
got the original Claire. But it ain't nothing original about Homegirl.
No.
Nothing original about her. So we don't know.
We don't know. Claire? Love Claire. She's doing a great job. Okay, so let's fast forward to Aldrich. He goes and meets up with one of his ex-coworkers, come to be boyfriends. His name is Walter, and the boyfriend's name is Lamar. So he goes and, talks to Lamar and saying, we haven't seen you since the funeral, yada, yada, yada. And supposedly the coworker passed away from a heart attack. But
Just
after
like they inducing overdoses.
After putting together all of this information, it's clear that this was not an accident, that they got rid of one of theirs to make room for one of the prime side of the world. So what did you guys think about that exchange? Did you think that the boyfriend gave enough information or what?
I think that he did. I think that's
how he
what
put two
knew.
and two together.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think
do
it was more.
What do you think? So again, I think that was another thing that was interesting about Aldrich is that every episode he has all these little pockets of information that nobody knows except for him. And even though it's appearing to be like he's not the mole, I'm wondering like what else does he know?
But he seems to always be on the side of good.
Yeah.
So we're not sure. We're assuming that the mole is on the side of evil or wrong or whatever is not in the best interest of the alpha world.
Yeah.
So Aldrich seems to always be the one that's unraveling the problems and not creating them. So that's the only credibility and viability that he has as far as not being the mole.
Okay. I agree. So we also see in this episode that the Pope, well, I'm not going to call him the Pope, his name is Pope, is still heavily involved in this, and he's getting all these encrypted messages. I hope that maybe we can get like a freaking dictionary to figure out what all
he got
codes
everybody
mean.
on his payroll, like even Ian's homeboy, because Ian told him to call for backup, but instead
Casper.
he called, Alexander Pope, and it's just like that code he gave him was to already let him know, like, all right, they're about to go to that house, get all them files, start burning them up. Like, dang, like it happened with just a few code words. Like, I need to order the lunch special. Like, how did you know? And then, like, he got so many different phones. Like, everybody on his payroll, like, nobody's safe. Everybody's working for this man.
Yeah.
Alexander Pope is clearly not his real name. So it's very interesting to know that's an alias that he's chosen based on the author, the writer. So who also was intertangled in a lot of different manifestations of conspiracies. So it's very interesting to see how that plays out as an aspect of the show.
Yeah.
Who is that man really?
I mean, who is anybody really in this show? We don't really know, and that leads me to one of my favorite quotes that was said in this episode. Prime said this to Delma. He said, "If you truly loved him, you have to love the lie." Everything is a freaking lie in this show. So what do you guys take from that quote? What does that mean to you?
I think there are a lot of girls out there right now living this exact quote right now.
Yeah.
You have to love the lie.
Unfortunately.
But when it comes to espionage, that is the case. That is the sacrifice that loved ones made. As I said, growing up in a city where, and even having a background where some of these things play out and are involved, that's part of the concept, is at times you just simply have to love the lie and trust the person's intent rather than the actions or the words.
Okay.
There is no excuse for lying, okay? There's no excuse. I don't care about your intentions. I don't care about your motives. I don't care about your purpose. There's no excuse for lying.
So
and
what
I don't
if I tell you the truth and you die? Then was there an excuse?
Thank you for telling me the truth. But I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like there's any excuse to make somebody be okay with your lies to them. Because at the end of the day, that's one of my pet peeves. Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do anything to me, don't lie. Like, be honest. I cannot love a lie. That even sounds stupid. Like, why would I love something that's not true? Like, I need you to be able to tell me the truth so that I can love you properly in your truth, not love what I think or make believe imagination. Like, that's stupid.
Well, see, I think the point of that is there's so many people in this show pretending to be something that they're not. So how can you truly say that you love this person or even love yourself
if you don't
when
know
you're
them?
pretending or putting on this mask for something that you're really not?
Because there's a greater purpose. And this is where the philosophical perspective plays out, right? The concept of a persona is a mask. All of us wear masks at different times, at different places.
Absolutely.
There are people who have, they have their black friend voice versus their white friend voice. Anything as a persona is a mask, correct? So
Yeah.
when you put that in perspective and then look at a higher purpose, the greater purpose, where there it comes down to things like loyalty, duty, honor, national security, things of this nature. This isn't he's just seeing other people. This isn't, oh, he's a player and he's at Greystone hanging out.
We're not
This is a
lying 'cause it's
matter
fun.
of life and death. This
Yeah.
is a matter of at this point, global security in many ways. So I understand that nature. I know it's not easy to always swallow. I understand that as well. But there's something more than us.
Yeah.
And if we respect that, then we understand. The love, the lie is actually just something that's a perspective that we get on Earth. This Earth, if it's not the real realm, which is why I think the title plays a part, because it is a Nietzschean philosophical statement, act like you've been here before. If
Right.
we're talking about a concept of reincarnation, then we are now loving the lie. We're living as if this is the life and it may or may not be. So it's the bigger purpose. And that's why it's just a very interesting dynamic that plays out.
Yeah, I agree. And at some point in time, I mean, we all are loving a lie, whether you know it or not. That's just life.
I don't love it. Nobody lies. Y'all can forget it.
right,
Don't lie to me
well,
because I ain't gonna love it.
Quail is loving a lie, and it looks like next episode he's going to have to continue to love the lie. It looks like him and Prime are having a conversation about what he's discovered about his wife. So let's get into some predictions for next week.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Portia, we know you hate this.
predictions.
This is so weird. But
Who
I'm okay.
wants to jump off with the predictions? Tehran.
Well, we're going to go into my personal opinion is what happens at that house. There are files that are being burned that are as essential files, and I think that they get into a conflict with the people and they get some of these files and they overlook them, right?
Okay.
And it says it's very, very detailed, very secretive information that's essential to whatever unfolds. I think that Nadia goes into the plan to kill people, but does not go through with the plan as it's laid out. Nadia has her own agenda at this point, and we're not aware of it. I think that Quail gets blamed for something that he is not, and that Claire helps with the blame.
Okay.
But eventually it does come out that Claire is the mole. And I think there's a conflict between the two, and it's very dangerous. So we'll see how that all plays out.
Okay.
I second his predictions. They were really good.
They were really good.
They were really good. Like
Okay.
I couldn't think of anything else.
I would like to see a battle of some sort between Claire and Quail. I'm not even sure how that's going to go down. I'm kind of hoping that Claire is working with her father. I think that would put like a whole nother twist, since he's been so adamant about, making peace and all that stuff like that. So I think that'd be really cool to see a father-daughter.
Unless, she's not working with him and he's totally in the dark about who she really is.
Could be. And I'm going to hold on to this. So now that we know this about Claire, I want to know where's the other Claire? Like, where is she? What is she up to? I'm going to be thinking about that every episode. And, yeah, I'm interested to see when the original Emily is going to wake up and what's going to happen, and if Prime is actually going to let Howard know all of the details about her extracurricular activity.
I don't think so, because love the lie, and I don't think it's the last that we see of Greta.
I don't think so either.
Did y'all peep how Prince still alive on their side though?
He is.
He got a new album out.
They
Like,
risked it all for Prince in this
risked it
episode.
all.
They tried to
They
take
had
a
an
CD over there.
album. And, they was about to go sell that.
They tried to sneak it through customs
Sneak
and
it
then
through
bring
customs.
it through on the other side. Prince is just that bomb.
Dang, they was trying to make some money off that. He said he had to feed his sick baby.
Maybe this is a realer show than we think, because Prince does have a lot of music that we have not heard that's been locked in a vault.
Oh,
And so
man.
maybe there is no vault. Maybe it's just the other side.
Yeah,
so
the
come back
vault
over
is
here.
the other side.
That may or may not be. We have no idea.
We have no
It makes
idea.
me question the world and our reality as well.
Is this the real world? What world are
The
we
fact that
living
he had to tell them, like, do y'all know that they Prince is dead over there? I'm just like, dang, so they're still alive? Like, that's crazy.
in? Well, can we have your Prince? Because we miss him. We want him back. Don't y'all want Prince back?
I like where we're at with Prince.
Okay.
I would love I never wish death on
Alright.
anyone, but at
This
this
wasn't
point,
my era.
I don't want anyone back that's not supposed to be here
Okay.
Just because I like the way.
I think it's crazy. but
I
Prince
think it's
wasn't my
crazy
era.
enough. It's nice.
I'll agree with you.
There are people that I would rather not be here than Prince. But
I'll accept it. I'll accept it. Well, let's move on. So thanks, guys, for joining us for another episode of Counterpart. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on all of our videos. My name is Ashley Allen. Make sure to follow me on all social media at Ashley Reed Allen.
Hey y'all, it's Portia. You can find me on all social media at Porchia Carter, and make sure y'all tune in this Wednesday. Black Lightning After Show panel is back at 6 p.m. and it's gonna be live, so make sure y'all watch it.
I have so many questions about that show, but I am Tehran literally across the board at I am Tehran, IAMTEHRAN. Please find me, show some love and your support. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.